Hello everyone, this is Mike Celestino with Laughing Place, and I've got the LEGO Mickey Mouse Steamboat Willie set. This is a LEGO Ideas project. What that means is a fan can come up with an idea for a LEGO set, submit it on the LEGO Ideas website, and if it gets over 10,000 votes, LEGO can decide whether it wants to make it into an official set. This is one of those sets that got selected, and Disney fans are very excited for that fact because it's a very cool idea. It represents the very first appearance of Mickey and Minnie Mouse, the first movie that was released with Mickey and Minnie Mouse, not the first one that was made. I think that was Plain Crazy, right? But this is the first Mickey Mouse movie that ever was released into theaters, called Steamboat Willie, 1928, a little over 90 years ago at this point. And it's got 751 pieces, this LEGO set. It's set number 21317 for ages 10 and up. Boat does not float. Not a flying toy. Okay, we're going to open this up. We're going to see what's inside. We're going to build it, and then I'm going to review it. Let's take a look at the back first, though. Here's all the features. You can see the wheel spins here. The steam pipes. I don't know all the terminology of steamboats. The pipes go up and down. There's a little display stand here. And Mickey can fit into the wheelhouse, and there's a little bird. I haven't watched this short in a long time. I probably should have watched it in preparation for this, but hopefully they got the details right. Let's open this up. Okay, I've opened the tape on the side here, but I haven't opened the box yet. We're going to see what's inside. We've got one, some boat pieces, three, and a 1. So there's 3 steps in total, but each step has multiple bags. There's also a instruction manual. Of course, you can't build the LEGO set without the instructions. So there's about 170 pages or so. Let's put the box aside here. I'm going to put the later steps aside. We're going to start with step number 1. And we're going to do this in fast motion, and then after we're done, we're going to do a review. Here we go. Okay, and here we have the finished version of the set, the Steamboat Willie Lego Ideas set. And of course the siren's going by right when I'm starting the video. There's Mickey and Minnie Mouse minifigures in black and white form. We've gotten Mickey and Minnie before in the Lego Disney minifigures set, but they were in their color forms. These guys are in black and white, of course, representing their first appearance in Steamboat Willie. Minnie has a nice hat here, the flower on it. There's a guitar, and there's sheet music for Turkey in the Straw, which is one of the songs that plays during Steamboat Willie. Why Mickey has a Mjolnir hammer, I don't know. I don't remember there being a hammer in the Steamboat Willie cartoon, but I'm sure there is one. I haven't seen it in a while again. But I like his hat. Both hats are kind of a rubbery plastic rather than the regular kind of hard plastic that the rest of Lego bricks and minifigures are made out of. But I like both these minifigures. There's a look at Minnie's skirt with the polka dots on it, of course. And the minifigures have this display stand, which can be used in two different ways. The first way is like this. It's got these pieces set up on the back that act as a prop to hold this up. It's a nice Mickey 3 circle shape here. And the year 1928, of course, representing the year Steamboat Willie was released. Then you can also, if you like, take this part off, set this down flat, and Mickey and Minnie can stand however you like here on that display stand. Now let's take a look at the boat. Now I did have one major problem with the finished product, or the finished construction here of the Steamboat Willie boat, because when you move it back and forth, the wheels are supposed to spin, these wheels, and then these two pipes are supposed to go up and down, alternating. This one is not working right. I think it's something either I did wrong, or there's just not enough room for it to slide up and down without getting any friction. So at some point I'll have to open this back up and go back in and see why that's not working. It's actually a pretty complex mechanism in the underside of this ship that you build first before you put the superstructure and the outer design elements together. You're building the insides and the mechanism that makes all of this work. Now again, either I did something wrong, which is possible, even though I'm a lifelong Lego veteran. It was kind of complicated. I definitely wouldn't recommend letting a child put this together on their own. If you're gonna give this set to a child, and you know it's a Mickey Mouse Disney Lego set, so kids are gonna want it, but I would recommend having an adult build this with them, because it is pretty complicated, and the actual mechanism part took me a while to put together, and I still may not have done it correctly, because as you'll see here when I move it, the wheel spins, the pipes kind of go up and down, but the front one is not settling back in the way that it's supposed to. It kind of stays, oh well, it's actually working better right now than it was previously. So maybe I kind of jostled it back into position. But yeah, that's actually better than I've seen it work yet since I built it. So maybe it just needed to settle. I don't know. But it still doesn't look like it's getting the full range of motion that it's supposed to have. But I do love that this wheel spins. There's also another wheel. Again, I'm not familiar with the terminology for steamboats, but I think these are just called the paddle wheel or something, and these do spin around entirely when you move it, and that's because there's some real wheels on the bottom, some rubber wheels that turn these gears, and those in turn turn an axle that is connected to both of these large wheels. Now, if this boat could go in the water, which it can't, the boat does not float, but the water would come up to about here, and the idea is that the steam engine would turn these paddle wheels, and that would make the boat go forward, like on the Mark Twain riverboat at Disneyland, kind of. And again, oh, okay, it's kind of working, but certainly better than I saw before. But see, this is supposed to, if I hold this down as it's moving, no, that doesn't help either. Well, you get the idea. There's also a crane on the back here that can load this box, and the box says potato bin. And the crane has a crank on it that can lower the box and raise the box, and this arm, this kind of jib arm, can come out or retract however you want it. I am not a big fan of when they have string incorporated into a Lego set. It always kind of overcomplicates things to me. I like when things are a little bit more precise. You have to like thread this wheel here, and you have to thread this hook and tie knots and stuff. Not the kind of thing I look forward to in a Lego set, but this one works okay. Here's more sirens going by. It's always when I'm recording audio and video here. Then we're going to take a look at the Wheelhouse, and we'll pop this open. This the roof of the Wheelhouse just comes off like that, pretty easy. And there's only like 4 studs holding that on, so it's not difficult to get on and off. And of course, Mickey is here. I'm going to take this hammer off. I don't think he's supposed to be holding that in here. And of course, this is the, you know, the famous scene. Whoa, I just dropped him in there. This is the famous scene that people know from Steamboat Willie. This is the one you see most frequently as part of the Disney Animation Studios logo for a long time. And Mickey just goes in there in the wheelhouse. There he is. And the wheel's bigger than he is, obviously. That's kind of part of the cartoon as well. And then we could put the roof back on. Okay. Now Mickey is piloting Steamboat Willie, driving the ship, steering the wheel. We'll put Minnie on the front of the boat here as well, so she can be a passenger. And then there's this little bird who's in the cartoon, and that's what he looks like. Get the focus in there. Turn him sideways and get a better look at both sides of the bird. And he just hangs out here on the ship. So that's Steamboat Willie, and I like the color scheme. It's nice, kind of grayscale. You can't see any color from the outside. It's mostly black, white, and different shades of gray, which makes sense, representing the black and white color scheme of the cartoon, which was released before most cartoons were in color. You got that bucket back here, and the hammer for whatever reason. There's also a pot and a pan hanging from hooks back here. There's what looks like a door, but this doesn't open up. You can't go inside. There's actually pieces blocking this from opening, though this piece is designed to open, but you can't open it here because this just would open up to the mechanism on the inside. I also like the SS Willie sign on the side here, which is a printed piece, not a sticker. Always better to have the printed pieces. Lego fans like me tend not to like having to apply the stickers on here because, again, it can be very imprecise. But these are printed, came like this in the box. It also says 1928 on the side there, which wouldn't have been in the cartoon, but it's nice to have that commemorating the 90th anniversary of Steamboat Willie. And that's the set. Let me put this stand back together here. And this is what everything looks like. Everything that comes in that box. It's a really nice looking boat. I really enjoyed the building process of this more than I thought I would. This isn't a set that I would have bought for myself if I weren't reviewing it for the site here at Laughing Place, but I actually think I'm pretty impressed with how this got put together. It's a really nice, fun construction. The only repetitive part for me was building these wheels on the side, because it's a lot of these, building these paddles have a lot of the same pieces over and over again. You got to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 16 of those when you count both sides. But otherwise, I really like this toy. Again, it's probably a little bit more of a challenging build than one you would get for a child. So parents and kids should probably build this one together. But it's a great collector's item for Disney fans. It might be a little overpriced. I think this costs $90, which seems a little excessive to me. I would say like $60, $70 I could see. For 90 bucks, it's not that large, but this'll look nice on a shelf either way. Oh, I also wanted to show you after I've taken Mickey out of the wheelhouse here, there's also kind of a bell. I think that's supposed to be a bell on the right there hanging from the back side. And then now there's a helicopter going past. You know, I live in a pretty quiet neighborhood until I'm recording a video. And there's two lifesavers, life preservers hanging from either side of the wheelhouse, just in case the ship starts to sink. You have a way for Mickey and Minnie to prevent themselves from drowning, which is good. I'm going to put the roof back here. And there we have Steamboat Willie Lego Ideas. It's a nice looking set. Once again, this is Mike Celestino from Laughing Place. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you real soon.